So what's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. CJ here, and today we have the i6 Lady Nifle build guide. I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about Lady Nifle at i6, the characters I pair with her, her demon wedges, her weapons, the Genie mon, and all that good stuff. And I gotta tell y'all before we even get deeper into the video, this character is an absolute monster of a unit. Probably one of, if not the strongest character currently at i6. Nonetheless, there's still a lot of really strong ones, and we will be covering them here on the channel. But today, we have Lady Nifle herself. With all that out the way, let's hop on in. These are my current Lady Nifle stats, and they're pretty damn good. Like always, there will always be room for improvements, but these stats are pretty solid, and I'm able to dish out easily with her skill alone. Millions upon millions of damage. We're sitting at almost 2,200 lumino attack, 190 skill damage, 178 skill range, and everything else is relatively basic, right? Everything's pretty much at standard. When it comes to the skills, we're not going to go too deep into it because we already have another video on the channel that breaks her down at base, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. When it comes to her main hitting skill is going to be Lunar Hunt. This is a two-faceted skill. Is going to be able to hit twice, Lunar Hunt and Solar Eclipse. One is going to deal Umbro damage, the other one is going to deal Lumino damage, and pretty much they have some debuffs. This one's going to reduce the movement speed of the enemy, and this one is going to reduce their attack. Pretty basic. Then you have her ultimate, Misty Sea Requiem. This is going to be like a big AoE like area that's going to buff your Lady Nifle. It's going to make it so when you cast your abilities for up to 6 times, they have no cost. It's also going to pretty much buff your damage. It's going to make it so your skill range that exceeds over 100% is going to be converted into skill damage. And here you guys could see the buffs that you're going to be getting from this ability, right? Then you have the passive, which you guys can read right here. It's pretty much based on the user's trigger probability for ranged weapons. Casting Lunar Hunt has a chance to spawn Solar Eclipse at the same location, which in turn might spawn another Lunar Hunt. So they pretty much just bounce off each other. So pretty damn good kit. But this is why we're here, right? The Introns. These are absolutely amazing. So let's kick it off. First off, Intron 1 is pretty good. Increases interwoven cries effect trigger probability by 15% and its max trigger probability by 65%, which is really good. Then we have her Intron 2. When Lunar Hunt deals damage, Solar Eclipse gains 75% damage against targets for 3 seconds. And when Solar Eclipse deals damage, Lunar Hunt gains 75% damage against target for 3 seconds. Once again, bouncing off each other. Pretty damn good Intron 2. I do say this one is very important. You want to get this if you're taking your time to build the character. This one's solid. This one's just levels. Increases Lady Nifle's healing received by 50% and sanity recovered by 25%. Intron 4 is nice because that sanity is going to be really nice in longer battles. So definitely some nice quality of life with that healing and sanity. When it comes to 5, once again, just levels. But when it comes to 6, ladies and gentlemen, Intron 6 is an absolute, just madness when it comes to this skill. When dealing damage using a ranged weapon, there's a 25% chance to summon either Lunar Hunt or Lunar Eclipse at the target location. This effect can only be triggered once every second. And you guys, paid attention to the rest of her kit, so it's all just going to continue to synergize, right? It is an absolute monster of a character. Its entire kit works really well with each other, and what I really like about Lady Nifle is that you could play her really good with her skills and also with the weapon. Bear in mind, the weapon is not what's doing damage, it's the skills that are triggered through the weapon. Nonetheless, you're still going to be able to use your weapon to trigger those skills and deal the damage without having to use sanity, right? So that's really good, giving her a lot of range and a lot of versatility. With that said though, let's move on over to the demon wedges, and my build is pretty straightforward. We're currently rocking 5 Scorch mods. We're rocking a Nirvana Volition, a Prime Morale, and a Skyloom Wildfire. And I gotta say, this is a very simple, straightforward build, but it does the damn job. Holy crap, am I able to put out insane amounts of damage. When I'm rocking by myself and I have my AI partners with me, I can easily dish out millions of damage, whether it's with my bow or with my skill, and it's just insanely strong. Now, I will say it's a little bit of a problem to have this many Scorch mods, because when it comes time to upgrading these to gold, it's gonna be quite a pain. You're gonna need a lot of Scorch mods in order to be able to replace all of these, and it's going to take you some time. But this build right here is able to clear all kinds of content. I've taken this into literally every type of game mode, and I'm dealing out millions upon millions of damage without any problem whatsoever. But if you do want to replace one of the Scorch mods, there are other options out here that you can go ahead and replace. Maybe give yourself more skill damage, more skill range, whatever it may be. Nonetheless, this build right here has been working for me. I've tasted out a lot of different builds, and this one does seem to be the strongest build when it comes to raw damage output. When it comes to the melee weapon, we are rocking Wainwraith, a max smelt Wainwraith. I think this is just a very solid weapon to slot with your Lady Nifle. Is going to give you an insane amount of skill damage, which is going to pair really nicely with this build, because ideally you want to balance out your damage, sources, right? And this is just very, very good to giving yourself some nice skill damage. When it comes to the demon wedges, I'm gonna be honest, is super unimportant. When it comes to the demon wedges for her melee weapon, I really only have her on a movement build. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out this video. But overall, it's just for movement. That's it. It's just a stat stick. Now, moving on over to the ranged weapon. There are two weapons we're going to talk about here today, ladies and gentlemen. But her best in slot is going to be the Embla in Florence. An absolute monster of a weapon when it comes to Lady Nifle. So, it's going to give her a 30% skill range at base, and while charging, the weapon gradually locks onto nearby enemies. Upon release, fires tracking arrows at locked targets, and when a Lumino character deals skill damage, it grants a 35% skill damage for 6 seconds. This is an absolute monster of a weapon, because it's going to have auto-tracking arrows, and it's going to fire a ton of them. It's going to give you skill range, which is going to synergize with Lady Nifle's kit, and it's going to grant you a skill damage increase, which is very good. Very, very good. Now, this one is very important when it comes to your build. At least several demon wedges in here are very important, so let's actually take a look. The first thing I want to tell you guys is you want to make sure you have your trigger probability as high as possible. That's the number one thing that matters when it comes to this build. Your trigger probability on this to be as high as possible. Multi-shot is actually really, really good. And there's one specific demon wedge that I want to tell you guys you need to have, and that's going to be Carefree. Upon triggering bonus effects, there's a 30% chance to reload one bullet. I'm telling you guys, I have infinite ammo with this bow. I have infinite ammo with this bow. Roll the clip. Now, you guys saw how crazy this demon wedge is on this bow. Let's move on to the next. We have a lot of trigger probability. We have some slash damage over here. Once again, some trigger probability. That's really pretty much everything. This one's also really good. It gives you plus 200% multi-shot, and even though it decreases the damage dealt by 60%, once again, you're not dealing damage with the bow. You're dealing damage with the procs of Lady Nifle's skills through the bow. So this is a really, really good demon wedge to have on this weapon. You have fold over in here again for more multi-shot. I just have a celerity in here for attack speed. You don't need this whatsoever. You can put something else in here, whatever it is that you want. You have speed boost, so I can get projectile speed. I do like my projectile speed, and that's really it for the entire build of this right here weapon. It is that simple when it comes to Lady Nifle's bow build. Super, super easy. Trigger probability, multi-shot, and Carefree. That's really all you need when it comes to this weapon. Now, the second weapon I want to talk about is Entropic Singularity. This pistol is actually super good, and it's very, very useful in a lot of scenarios where you don't want to take the bow. It's extremely comfortable, and overall is going to offer you a lot of utility for Lady Nifle. So when we look at it, it's going to offer you a massive trigger probability. Each shot with this weapon has a chance, based on its trigger probability, to fire an extra projectile at no ammo cost, dealing AoE damage equal to 50% of its attack. So pretty damn good. You know that trigger probability synergizes very good with Lady Nifle. And here we have pretty much the build. Once again, we have the Carefree in here, and everything else is relatively the same. Simple multi-shot, trigger probability, and that's about it. With that Carefree, with its nice ammo that it has, and the whole thing that it could fire an extra shot at no cost, this is going to be an insane weapon when it comes to certain modes like Mystic Maze. since in Mystic Mace you don't really have your Demon Wedges, you already off the bat have that really nice trigger probability, which is absolutely insane. And on top of that, it's just a very nice weapon, very comfortable. You don't have to be constantly like pressing your attack. You just kind of hold it down and it's just going to shoot off. So pretty damn good weapon. A nice second option until you can get yourself the bow, or simply if you want something more easygoing and comfortable for certain mission types. Now, let's talk about the Genie mons. There's a lot of options for Lady Nifle. You can use the Battle Pass Genie mon, but if you happen to be completely free to play or you just didn't pick that, I highly advise the Miraculous Balbi is super, super good. It's going to deal lumino damage equal to a certain percent of the main character's attack, which is pretty high, to enemies within range, and is going to increase the skill damage taken by them by a certain percent for 10 seconds, and it only has a 20-second cooldown. So if you slap the trait that reduces this cooldown, it's going to bring it down to about 16 seconds, which makes it an insane uptime for enemies to be taking more skill damage. An absolutely busted Genie mon to rock with Lady Nifle, and the passive skill is going to increase lumino attack for the main character and the combat partners by 2%, and the stats provided by Demon Wedges with the prefix Phoenix. Overall, this is my pick for Demon Wedges for Genie mons when it comes to Lady Nifle, and that's really it. When it comes to the traits, what I would rock 100%, the number one trait that I would rock, let me see if I can find it right here. I believe it's not tenacious, it's, let me see where it's at. We got a whole lot of these, bro. This keen, right here, it's keen. Support skill cooldown minus 24%. This is absolutely the most important trait to have on that. And then after that, honestly, just go for the regular, traits that you would go on a combat Genie mon. Like fierce would be really good, beefy, timid, whatever it is that you want on there. But you want to make sure you get that cooldown on there to bring this even lower than 20 seconds. Now, that's really everything regarding this Lady Nifle build. I showed y'all some gameplay at the very beginning. I showed you how the bow works. But I'm going to leave you with a little bit more gameplay so you can go ahead and see for yourself what this absolutely busted build brings to the table. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe, and stay tuned for more i6 character builds. For now, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.